Greetings YouTube. Welcome to my first Sony Vegas tutorial where today I will be displaying some of the essential and basic features of Sony Pro Vegas. So I've opened up a project file on my Sharks video to show you some of the basic features of Pro Vegas 9. Before I even start editing, it is good to set the desired properties of my video. So if you go to properties, a window should appear with tab. Under the video tab, I set the width to 640 and set the height to 480. Go a bit farther and you'll see you can change the bit rate and the pixel format and along with the rendering quality. Most settings can just be left the way they are. I would advise going through and playing around with these settings once you found something you like. Then there's an option to start all project with these new settings. Moving on to the tabs down here, I'm going to start with the Explorer. It just allows you to view all the documents on your computer and take them from storage devices in your hard drive. If we move on to Project Media, this is just all the media that's in my project currently right now, which is my Sharks video. Transitions, there are, as you can see here, if I bring this bar over, there are countless transitions that you can use inside your video. See, if you keep on going under all these kind of like selections, they got some real nice 3D transitions. They're very complex, so spend some time looking at these. Then same for video effects, there's lots of them. Spend some time looking through those. We'll go into more depth in those later on in the video. And then for media generators, lastly, media generators, which can be used to insert text, colors, textures, and much more. I will be showing how to use these as just described later on in the tutorial. So yeah, you get your text, all that good stuff. Now if we move on to the layers, so let's cover some things in layers. When you open up a fresh new project, there are no layers. So if I just do that, so you need to make some layers. You can do this by right-clicking this open space here, insert audio track, and insert video track. You can do the same by going to insert. So if you ever have a question, on how would I insert something, you usually find it right in this menu right here. Same with all these other menus. Now note that the layers, if you notice, the video layers always pop up above all your other previous layers, and your audio layers always pop up from the bottom. So keep this in mind when trying to locate newly made layers. The layers can move just by dragging them. To rename a layer, double click on their original name. So I've already named all these, so if I just double click on this, I can change the name of that layer there. If I went back down here and I showed you the audio that I used for this video, you can change that too, and you can drag it just like that. For video layers, you can add special effects to each individual layer, which is called a track effect, which in this case I have none, with the exception to my audio track effect. There should be like a little icon here called track effect. It'll light up green if you have a track effect. Click on that, and I can edit that. But if you didn't have one, it gives you the track effect menu, and you pick your track effect and you'd go on with that. Now, one of the last things I'll cover in layers is the level, which determines the amount of how visible each layer will be in your video. So if I take, for example, here, you see this in the previewer, and here's my level, and if I move this down, it should start disappearing. Usually that works. Yeah, there, see how the screen's black right now because there's 0% of the video can be shown, and then as I come up here, it's 100%. If I drag this down, everything disappears. Alright, so you see that. Now, one of the last things I'll cover is the composition mode. This is how your layers will be displayed. If you leave it in default composition mode to source alpha, pretty much whatever you have on top the layers, whatever you have towards the furthest top of the layer will be shown in your preview. and your final video. So keep that in mind, unless you're doing some multimasking or something like that, beyond those lines. Okay, so now the very last thing I'm going to show you here is how to toggle through the views on your layers. This, if you see right here, this minuscule little button on this thing here, minimize layer and then maximize layer. That's on it, sorry. There, and you click maximize layer. So now your layer is maximized. And you click it again to restore it. Cool little thing. Alright, now as you can see, I've used layers for my liquid texture, my texture, and my text. That's for the text effect over here. Now you can also see that I have set up a video layer, a photo layer, and down here an audio layer. So to get into how to really work with these layers, if you click S, so let's say you take a selected layer and let's say you click keyboard command S, so you just click S, you select this S, you'll notice it'll split the video in half. So that is how you split videos. It's also right up here. If you go to file, if you go to edit, there will be a split, but you have to have a layer selected. Be careful when selecting layers, because if you accidentally select a layer that you don't want to, it'll split through all that. I advise using a keyboard command that will deselect all your layers, and it is this, Control Shift plus A. So if I select this, hold down Control, select some more stuff, hit Control, select A, and everything is deselected. So useful little tool there. And don't forget Control Z to undo all your changes. If you ever notice how the video and the audio and clips that you bring in from your drive or wherever, they'll oftentimes be grouped. So if I just give you an example here, let's say I go to a little video here, pick a TSN Top 10. This is a new one that came out. And now let's give that a little bit of time to load. But you'll notice how the audio here is congruent in length and size to this video clip. And if I move this, that moves with it though. They're grouped together. So how could I keep this from doing that? Let's say I don't like that. Well, ignore event grouping. Control Shift plus U. Click that, and voila. Now they're separated. This can be useful in cases. So I'm going to send a Control Z because I don't need to do that anymore. But let's say that your video possesses some audio that you want to put in your timeline, but you don't care for the video. So what you're gonna do is let's delete this to get this out of our way. So I only want the video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click and drag it down here, and it's gonna give me a choice here. You're gonna go down here, you're gonna select video only, and you can just say it across time. Add across time, and notice how I only have the video. Now this video doesn't really show up because it's actually not in the correct file format. It's an MP4 file, so it can show up, but you get the point. It would if it was a correct file format. So yeah, and you can do the same thing with audio. So just delete this. If I want to do it again, go here, select audio only, audio cross track, start playing it. So yeah, that's the audio. View the timeline. So like if you notice like, this little bar here, I really don't know what it's called, but you'll notice how a neon will always come around this bar when it's coming in intersections of points of a video, whatnot, and it'll be orange when it's on a transition or a marker. So yeah, and when you zoom in with the scroll, you scroll in to zoom in to more detailed frames. So if you notice this bar, well, since it's on this certain thing here, if you go to the options, quantize the frames, since it's on this settings right here, it will always, you can't move it. See, you can only move it to another frame, which is good for when you're doing video editing. So if you zoom out, you really don't notice it, but there's actually little frames in there, and if you looked up at here, it tells you the frame numbers right there. So yeah, keep that in mind. just so that you understand that. And then that's pretty much all there is to say for that. You got this little bar down here. It's pretty easy to figure out. Then there's markers. If you just, the keyboard shortcut for that is M, so select a certain part. Let's just say we select right dab in the middle here. Just click M. You got a marker. You can type in what you need to remind you something. This is just another way to organize your video editing in a timeline. Next is the trimmer, which is another great tool that is used by a lot. Often I use it a lot. So the great thing about the trimmer is that you can open stuff up in the Explorer and your project media, and it will not affect anything in your timeline. So you don't have to worry about screwing something up here. So let's just say we want to open up, I don't know. We'll just say we want to open up this here. So I want to open up this clip here. Or anybody want to open up this one? You want to go with this one? Alright, that's fine. So we open up this clip here. And you'll notice how if you play through it, it plays through just like a regular clip. I'm just going to lower down my timeline here. And so, the great thing about the trimmer is that you can trim your audio. It won't affect your video, but something really cool here is you can create subsets. So let's say if I select this just by clicking and dragging, you'll be able to highlight certain selections of the video. You right click while it's still highlighted, and if you select something here, you can do a select video or audio only, but also there's something here called create subset. Now it's going to prompt you to name the subset, of course, because it's like a new video, and it's going to show up inside your project media video tab down that I showed you before, so remember that. So I'm going to label this test. Now there's something else cool here. You can reverse it. So I'm going to reverse it. So its start point will be here, and its end point will be right here. So yeah, if you didn't reverse it, start point would be there, end point would be there. Okay, so okay. And now we're going to go to project media. So I'm going to show you how that works. It's not even inside my timeline yet, so. And it'll always tell you in parentheses whether it's reversed or not reversed. I'm just going to close out the trimmer because it's in my way right now, but we're going to move on to some more simple features on the timeline. So we're actually going to really kind of start editing. So if we just kind of zoom in here, you'll notice on most of these here, if I look through here for something in particular where I was using some fading, right here I have a fade. See, it says fade offset and a fade offset here. So if I start playing that, you'll notice how it fades right here and then it fades back in. Now to do this, you just select this here like a corner. Well, I'm gonna take a new piece of media to show you how I do this. Let's just select this piece right here that I set over here to the side, and see if you select that and this curved line will appear. The farther you pull it, the farther that fade will be implemented into your clip. So think about that, and like you'll see that little arrow pop up, because there's other things you can do here too. You can change the clearness of it, how much of it will be shown too as well. So make sure you're clicking the right stuff. Okay. There's another cool fading feature where if you take two clips and you bring them together, and it's like you see the two curved lines, and it'll even tell you, this is like 13 seconds and 4 milliseconds in, or maybe 13, I don't know. And if you start clicking, and if you click play, you'll notice how it starts fading into, and how the next clip from behind it is fading from behind it. So you can see here in the previewer. Alright, so you see how that fading effect works. But now there's something about this fading effect you have to be careful about. If you take this clip and completely submerged it under here, you're not getting fading effect. Part of this clip has to be out in order to get like this fading effect, and you'll see the two curve arrows. As soon as you bring it in and it's fully submerged, when the clip's fully submerged, you're not gonna get the fading effect. It just whatever random selection of, I don't know how it decides, one image will be shown only.